it?
All right, here we go. And welcome to Overtime, brought to you by KingsCast at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Kornelek.
And I'm Chris Kalazewski.
Oh no, Kings fans, we're back. Here we go, another series. Kalazewski?
That's right, KingsCast, we're back here. It's been a little while with a little hiatus here, waiting for the second round to start. Here to talk about Game 1 of the Blues-Kings series and also talk about things the Kings and Blues have in common.
Yeah, so Chris just said round 2 of the playoff series. We've never echoed that on KingsCast. Here we go. Gonna do it now. Bada bing. All right, Chris, so here we are in Los Angeles, lower 70s. Daddy's still wearing shorts. That's what we're at here. And Kings St. Louis Blues, if I was Larry Brooks from the New York Post, I'd be saying, who?
Yeah, exactly. We hear a lot of talk coming into this series. These teams, are pretty much exactly the same. Advantage Blues. These teams are both play very similar styles. Advantage Blues. We've been hearing this Advantage Blues thing the whole time, even though it's going to be a tight series. Keith.
Yeah, I think it was Dmitry Chesnikov of Puck Daddy. He was the only guy that I read that had the Los Angeles Kings actually winning the series. And, listen, yeah, they are two teams that play defensive-style hockey, two very good teams. Obviously, the St. Louis Blues had a much better record than the Los Angeles Kings coming in. And what every pundit was saying, Chris, was that the Los Angeles Kings could not score. They were the worst-scoring team in the league, and that was true up until the trade deadline. And I think we ended up in the top 5 or at least the top 10, teams that could actually put the puck in the back of the net. So, to me, it's looking a lot more even. And, in the last episode, I said Kings in 7. Chris said Kings in 6. So, I don't know. I'm not going to say we're the more respected media, but we are the more respected media.
Yeah, that's right. It was both teams having a pretty long hiatus. The Kings had 6 days off. I think the Blues had 8 days off. So you talk about momentum and how that pretty much gets wiped away for both teams, really. But you take a look at the coaching matchup, and obviously both teams made changes in the off season and during the season, had a huge impact on the team. And the Blues are still the number 2 seed. Kings, number 8, knocked off the number 1. So. I don't know. To me, you had a matchup where it looked like the Kings were really going to take advantage of being the underdog again. And I also liked how they were on the road again because obviously the Kings excel there.
Yeah, they sure do. And, you said it earlier tonight, Chris. You said that the St. Louis Blues, Los Angeles Kings, the Kings have the sexier names on the roster as far as offense go. And I completely agree with you. I'm thinking Advantage Kings, looking at that post-trade deadline kind of thing. And then you're looking at defense. It's kind of even maybe Advantage Kings. And you're looking at goaltending. Jonathan Quick just nominated for a Vezina Trophy, so Advantage Kings there as well. So, I'm looking at our chances going into this, and then, obviously going to St. Louis, it's not going to be an easy building to play in. And sure enough, Blues get the first goal on the board.
Yeah, you take a look at a goaltender like Elliott. He's a guy who hasn't had the best luck, or maybe wasn't really that good until he played with a team that had a great defense in front of him, and obviously had one of the best seasons as a goaltender this year. And you take a look at that first period. Obviously the Blues a little more fired up. I think they're at home, but I still think the pressure on them. Kings in an underdog role that they just absolutely love, and I think this is a team that's primed for a long run just because they sort of relish in that. They relish in the fact that they are the underdog, and they will be the entire playoffs as long as they go.
We talked about it last episode, Chris, against the Vancouver Canucks, and that was Slava Voinov looked really iffy, on his skates, just not playing like he had during the season. Sure enough, scored a goal off a great pass by Dustin Penner, sort of a theme for the game. And to me, he kind of picked it up. The defense started to, come up a little bit, started to chip in a little bit, and it was really, really nice to see. Once Slava Voinov scored that goal, I kind of felt like the Kings had control throughout the rest of the game. There's a lot of penalties by the St. Louis Blues, which has kind of been something against them for this season. But I don't know. I as a Kings fan, I'm really happy with the way they played. And, everybody said it was going to be a low-scoring game, sure enough. Yeah, so 3-1 being the final score. And, probably a higher-scoring game than most people on the East Coast were predicting, Chris.
Yeah, take a look at the second period. And the biggest thing, I think, the biggest comparisons you see, during all the predictions before the series started was special teams. And everyone talked about, how well the Blues power play, they had a fantastic power play against the Sharks. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Sharks, a team that was sort of a mess, but the Kings' penalty kill. And it's not just stopping stopping the other team from scoring. It was this crazy short-handed opportunities that the Kings have been presenting. You look at Dustin Brown, had a chance tonight, all over it. As soon as the power play started, took it in directly on net, and the puck just sat there. I think everyone was sort of waiting for Elliott to clean house and get it out of there, wait for a defenseman to come and clear it out. But who of all people, Matt Green, lifted the puck. Now, I didn't know that Matt Green knew how to lift the puck.
No, me neither.
Ended up being the game winner. So, you take a look at, the X factors in the game. That's, the Kings defense and the other players who aren't named, Richards, Kopitar, and Brown. And you get a goal from Matt Green, his first ever in the postseason. Yeah. And you get Voynov with his goal earlier, his first ever postseason goal. X factors. Dustin Penner, also another guy who was an X factor. Beautiful dish, to get that. And you take a look with the Kings team with the 2-1 lead. You like where it's going. You like the chances.
You do. And that is going to be the key to every series when you're on the way to a Stanley Cup. I'm not saying we're on our way to a Stanley Cup, but, I'm really hoping we win this series. But you got to get contributions from that third line, that fourth line. Jarrett Stoll closing out the last game against the Vancouver Canucks tonight. A Matt Green. Matt Green, of all people. God damn it, Chris. Matt Green! I mean, and then a guy like Dustin Penner, who's always good for a goal in game one, it seems, now. But, I'm thrilled as a Los Angeles Kings fan. We're playing against teams that were theoretically better than us during the regular season. I know we did turn it up towards the end of the season, but, St. Louis Blues, great story in the National Hockey League. Ken Hitchcock coming in, what a huge difference maker. It's a great team. To me, the Los Angeles Kings fans, Chris, have that one advantage, and that's actual playoff experience. The Blues were in it, I think it was the second year after the lockout, and haven't been in it since. To me, it's a big factor.
All right, Kings fans, so obviously a lot of talk before the series started that the Kings and Blues have a lot in common. So we're here to present a segment called Things the Kings and Blues Have in Common.
Number 5, we both entered the league in the 1960s, and we haven't won a goddamn thing.
Number 4, Wayne Gretzky played for both teams and didn't win anything either.
Number 3, none of the East Coast media can name more than 3 players on our team either.
And number 2, since the lockout, each team has only one playoff series win. And it both happened this year.
And number 1, each coach on each team is one fried sandwich away from a frickin' heart attack.
All right, Kings fans, so we're going into a game 2 here coming up on Monday night. And, Keith, it's so big always, to win the game 1. Obviously, they were on the road. Game 2, all the pressure, again, goes on the Blues. So looking forward to see, which Kings team shows up here. I have a great feeling about this. Obviously, we come back to L.A. on Thursday. The Kings could be up 2-0 again.
We got to love that. So, Kings fans, your question of the day, Blues fans as well, is who comes out on top in Game 2? Leave your comments and questions, as always, downstairs. And we'll be right back at you after Game 2 in St. Louis on the Monday. I'm Keith Korneluk.
And I'm Chris Kalzewski.
Thank you for watching Overtime by KingsCast.